disruptive.
America that I fuck.
Weird thing to happen. So here's a fascinating story that you can add to your hilarities list. Things of the unexpected. This is apparently got tweeted out. This is from a guy by the name of Ollie London. I don't know who this guy is, but this is actually a thing, ladies and gentlemen. It says liberal women spend $4,000 to bash sticks on the ground and scream at a rage ritual retreat. The bizarre wellness retreat is designed to help women deal with anger. Are you ready for this? $4,000, and this is what they do.
Right now, I feel. What do you feel? I feel sad. Give it to them. What are they trying to take?
$4,000, ladies and gentlemen. $4,000. That's they actually pay money to go outside and smash sticks on rocks. Something that I grew up as a kid that we did for free. Something I can easily do now in my own backyard for free. And people pay $4,000 as a ritual retreat, which kind of my own little opinion here, but I feel my scamdar is going off. I feel like this is some sort of like who's that lady that got caught, scamming millions of people for that charity thing, and she had to like change her voice because she didn't want to get recognized. I'm blanking on the name, but you know what I'm talking about. So it's so crazy that this even made it to USA Today. They said women are paying big money to scream, smash sticks in the woods. It's called a rage ritual. $4,000 to scream at nature. It fascinates me when, and it reminds me of the question that people ask about, like, oh, if you won $1 million right now, or if you won the lottery, what would you be doing with that money right now? Some people would say, I'm going to pay off some debts. I'm going to take a small vacation, maybe give some to family, maybe give some to charity, do something actually worthwhile with their money and actually incentivize good positivity. And instead, they're like $4,000. I can think of a million ways $4,000 could be beneficial to yourself and others than paying to go to a forest to yell. It's just hilarious. So this goes on to a story. This is one of the participants. It says, Kimberly Helmus still gets chills thinking about her first rage ritual. 2.5 years ago, after her divorce, the cybersecurity engineer embarked on a retreat to Scotland with Mia Banatucci, an author and self-described spiritual fairy godmother, better known online as Mia Magic. Oh boy. As part of the retreat, Banucci held a rage ritual, a ceremony in which participants scream and beat large sticks on the ground in the woods. Participants are encouraged to think of people and experiences that have wronged them and to scream and swing the sticks for at least 20 minutes or until they can no longer move their arms. Rage rituals have garnered attention on TikTok, where they've been resonated, particularly with women. In comments, women describe how moving it is to see other women embody their anger, and emotion experts say society often discourages women from What? When have we ever discouraged people from getting angry? In fact, that's all I see. That's all I see today is people getting angry at a lot of things. And rightfully so, there are things to be angry about, but a lot of there's some things that's like, okay, you got to chill. You got to control that. You got to figure out something like, I think the biggest, I don't know who these experts saying that it's discouraging women from anger. I think the thing that we're discouraging is people to accept one another and build unity. Again, like this t-shirt says, united we stand, divided we die. I almost forgot what it said, even though I'm wearing it. You buy at the Kitz corner merchant store. So she then goes on to say, there's no place where you can see women be able to be angry like that. Again, I strongly disagree. Have you been on social media? Have you seen viral rants? Have you been around anywhere in the world? And it not be condemned, Helmuth says. Just hormonal, just unhinged. She's just crazy. She's just on her period. She's just whatever. This is a place where you were probably for the first time in a really, really long time, if ever, able to scream out loud things how you felt. That you paid $4,000 for. Banducci has led rage rituals for several years and began doing them first for herself and then for friends, and then eventually as part of her days-long retreats, which include other activities and can range in price from around $2,000 to $4,000. Her one-day version, she says, costs $222 per ticket. I love that there's options to this scam. The process of a rage ritual is pretty simple. First, Banducci says participants gather large sticks while conjuring to their mind every person who's ever crossed you, who's ever hurt you, who's ever ignored your boundaries, or take advantage of you, or abused you in some way. After some warm-up breaths and the screaming and the swinging begin, the ritual is held in the woods so participants can make noise without fear of bothering people nearby. That may be good for people, but I feel strongly bad for the animals. God, that the wildlife, having the wildlife already suffered enough that now they have to deal with this. They're now seeing, upper class white ladies screaming at nature and beating sticks with rocks. Or beating rocks with sticks, I should say. Either way, it's just hilarious. Banducci isn't the only person who leads events dealing with the rage. Secret Sanctity will host a sacred rage ceremony in Alberta, Canada in July. And Jessica Ranchiti, an author and self-proclaimed mystic, will also host an event, women's retreat, in North Carolina in June. When people do this and gives themselves permission to release their anger, their captivity for joy actually expands, Banducci says. They're able to feel more happiness and pleasure, and they go home to their families with more gratitude and ease and peace. Unexpected feelings can also arise during a rage ritual. Helmuth, for instance, thought her first rage ritual would address anger she felt towards her ex-husband. Instead, she felt something much deeper, a grief she'd been holding on to since witnessing the death of a friend when she was age 15. I remember it was very kind of clear, light switch moment. I was like, oh, that's what this is about, she says. So many times I think you can really feel a lot of stuff until you work through it out. So now, this is what a psychiatrist is now inputting on this, and this is what she said. Psychotherapist Stephanie Sarkis says people deal with anger in a variety of ways, and there isn't a one-size-fits-all solution to rage. I agree with that. 100%. We're built differently. Everybody has their own different takes and synchronicities to deal with anger and anxiety and stress, and I think that's part of the journey of life. That's part of the purpose of why we're here and why we're always trying to learn for ourselves and do soul searching, is try to figure out how to deal with ourselves, how to deal with our emotions, and connect that in a healthy way that benefits not only ourselves, but the greater good of society. For some, rage is better handled with advocating strategies like hitting a punching bag or doing an intense workout. For others, soothing strategies like deep breaths, slow walks, or calm music works better. It's important to know how you best process anger before undergoing a rage ritual, Sarkis said. When you do something like that, it's important to know, does it exacerbate your anger or does it decrease it? So that's an interesting question I would ask too, because let's face it, if I was in that group, and I think that one woman said like, "What are you feeling right now?" I'd feel pissed off. Knowing I paid that kind of money to stand in a forest and yell, and I'm wondering what the hell's going on. Like, I thought we were gonna do something. I thought this was actually, I paid money for this. Like, I'd be pissed off. I'd be angered at the fact that I just got ripped off by this program. It's being exploited. That's something that's on an individual basis. It depends on past experiences. It depends on your own makeup. It depends on your just brain chemistry. Still, Sarkis isn't against rage rituals. If they help you release anger, if you can afford them and done safely, she doesn't see the harm. I'm for whatever works within someone's worldview, whatever works with their budget, whatever works with their own well-being and their own safety, she says. We're very individual. So that's a kind of nice message there from a psychoanalyst point of view that, everyone's built differently. And if it doesn't, lead to violence, if it doesn't harm people or yourself or anyone around you, then I guess it works for people. I guess there's just some benefit to this. But I laugh at the fact that, again, you're paying an extortionate amount of money to exploit people's emotions to think that they're getting better. Like, I just find that so kind of, like, condescending. I feel like I feel the scam. Like I said, I feel like there's a scam at foot with this. That, like, oh, you're going to pick up women who have dealt with, anger and frustration and, dealing with pain and suffering. And then you're going to tell them that, hey, you could go to a forest and yell it out to nature for nearby animals to hear, I guess. But you're going to have to pay, $4,000 for it. Or the 222 a day, whatever it is. It's very fascinating, if you will. And now you shouldn't feel so bad for people when they buy avocado toast. I know there's, those people that are like, well, you shouldn't be spending your money on extraordinary things. Like, sadly, compared to what we just read, avocado toast is a little bit of a better investment at this point. You're nourishing yourself. I would say there's better options but anyway, that's just me. $4,000. I can't get that out of my mind. It pays $4,000. You have to pay $4,000 to go to the forest and yell and scream. Something that everybody has done for free once in their life, maybe when they're drunk. I don't know. But you're gonna pay people to do this. The world is an interesting place. Let's say that. This is brought to you by Ground News, the versatile news app and website that gathers all the world's media on one place and allows users to compare coverage. Ground News gives you the access of thousands of sources worldwide, allows you to see the media blind spots, and even gives analysis on the bias and factuality of those stories. Weave your way through the mainstream narratives, the corporate lies, and have total access to find complete information that you deserve. Click on the link below and get 15% off a subscription. Be critical, be informed, be ground.